all for jumping on. Welcome to Wednesdays with Wendy and Lisa. It's a thing. I'm one of your hosts, Wendy. That's my beautiful co-host, Lisa, who for some reason my camera has decided to feature. Perhaps it really likes the makeup that she's doing.
Yeah.
And I've tried to switch it so that other folks are on kind of randomly, but apparently it just wants to look at Lisa. So there you go, my beautiful friend Lisa. Anyway, so Lisa and I have been chatting with our fabulous upline, Amanda, and we decided to make just a few changes to Wednesdays with Wendy and Lisa. First of all, it's going to happen. We love it. We love getting together with all of you. We love working hard to provide important and fabulous content to you every week and things that'll help you personally, professionally, all those things. But we are so excited about, I don't know if all of you had an opportunity to attend Super Saturday, but we're so excited about all of the things that are happening corporately. Corporate has provided us with the most amazing tools to work our businesses. That some of the things that Lisa and I were doing previously with these meetings, we just don't see the need for anymore. And so we're going to actually stop with a lot of that. We're going to be more about encouraging folks, sharing testimonies, sharing announcements, talking about, some of the fun things that we have go on. But as far as product training goes, or really even working your business training goes, for the most part, we're going to ask you to rely on what corporate provides, because corporate has worked so hard to give us these amazing and awesome tools. We want everybody to take advantage of them. And not only that, I think it's really important that all of us are on the same page, so that whether someone talks to me or Beck or Amanda or Lisa, we are all on the same page. We're using the same verbiage. We're talking about our products and our company the same way. And that way it's duplicatable. So people see us doing this. We had somebody to our team. We show them where the training is and the new ambassador training, all of those things. It's easy for them to show folks, so it's not so confusing and stressful, because I think sometimes we can make this business look a whole lot harder than it is. So that's kind of where our mindset is. Lisa is going to do some training tonight, because one of the things that is both of us, it's very near and dear to our heart, is customer service, and really and truly how to care for folks who are trusting us with their health, with their finances. We want to make sure that we are giving them the best experience possible, because that's what's going to keep folks here. That's what's going to truly help folks to be the best that they can be. And that's what's going to help folks to want to share with other folks. So let's see. Do you know if recording from Super Saturday was sent? Yes, actually, Laura, I just got the email today. So let me know if you didn't get it. I will forward it to you if that is okay. I'd be happy to do that. So right off the bat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And I get super excited about this because I just really learned how to do this. And so I'm still a big nerd. So in your back office, there is a calendar. And on the calendar, everything that Plexus is doing for the month training-wise is listed right here. So it gives you what the training is. Down on the bottom, explains where to find the training. And you can see every Wednesday we have a Welcome to Plexus call. So you do not have to do these calls, because Plexus did it for you. And then also, if you don't know what our current incentive is, and maybe you message your sponsor and your sponsor is not getting back to you, and somebody wants to know, like, how much money am I going to make this month, or what prizes do we offer? Are we still doing the open enrollment? There's a link at the bottom of the calendar. You can click on that and it takes you directly to all of the current incentives that are being run for the month. And my computer is really slow. And right before we got online, I dumped a big glass of water on it. So thankfully it's still working. So here's your January incentives. So you can see what's going on for the month. And each one of them gives you details. So you don't have to know all of the things to help somebody know all of the things. Oh, I don't know what that is. Anyway, so that was something that Plexus rolled out, and they've been doing it for a while, but they've really streamlined it and really made it so much easier to find everything and to be plugged in, plug your people in, and just make sure that everybody's on the same page. So I was very excited about that. Our team is committed to making sure that we're going to start using these tools on a regular basis, and we're going to save this time that we have together for stuff like this, encouragement, getting to know each other, and, you know, even a little spiritual development, all that kind of thing we're going to throw in there. So tonight, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going, oh, Lisa's giving me the timeout signal.
Only because I have somebody jumping on the call. She is somebody from the LEADS program. When you reach senior Ruby and above, anybody that goes to the website for Plexus, they divide it. So they divide these people that you don't know. They become your customer, your ambassador, and it's up to you to take care of them. So I've had the opportunity to meet like strangers, you know, and so I'm actually talking to Rosia right now. She is from California. She's grabbing her headphones and she's going to jump on, but so I don't want her to miss Jesse's testimony if we were going to go there.
That was a good thing. Actually, I wasn't going to go there. I was going to introduce you.
Oh, okay.
And have you do your customer care thing. And then I thought we would have Jesse and then close out. So
awesome. Okay,
so
good.
Here's my friend Lisa doing the customer care thing.
Okay. Customer care. I don't know how anybody gets involved with Plexus without being somebody who cares about people. Like I don't know how you would do that anyway. And I think a lot of us have somehow in our lives done jobs that are customer care related. I know that I was in the service industry my whole life. So serving in some capacity, whether it was waiting and serving them their coffee or whatever it was, customer care is really how retention is found. And we can, in this whole new sprint, it's one of the three main things, how you are going to continue to grow. And it was number one, recruit, rank ups, and then retention. And so that's why I wanted to talk about retention this week. I was all over the place when I first started. And then when we grew, I didn't know the first thing about how to really follow up, what I was supposed to do. And I was so overwhelmed and lost all the time. And if you know, people get excited, they join, and then they fall out your funnel. And then you keep trying to stuff the funnel and they keep falling. And I have found for retention for me, the number one thing has been the system that I learned from Momentum Movement. So everything that we do, if we have a system, our lives are easy. If we have a system, duplication happens. And so I have tried really hard to teach this system so that everybody on my team is giving this kind of customer care. So what I do right when they join, so I have a list of just a couple of people that joined this month. And I don't know if you can really even see my calendar. So whatever calendar, I haven't gotten my, my whatever it's called, planner yet for this year. Way behind. So I just grabbed my wall calendar to just kind of show you guys. So on the very first day that somebody joins, like I had, I'll just use Angie Loomis for Lumens. She joined on the 2nd. And so I will write her name on the 2nd. Joined and her name. I usually write little notes just to keep it fresh on my calendar. So when I follow up, I kind of remember things. And so right from her date where she joined, you count out 4 days. So the 2nd, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the 6th, I would write her name again. And then from there, I go weekly down my calendar. So her name would drop here on the 6th. Then I would go down to the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. What I do then is I check in. I have a set of videos that I've gotten from another diamond in the company. And so I use what she has. There was in Momentum Movement, they gave me scripts. I don't follow the scripts verbatim because I have relationships that I know about them. So I add my own little bit of language, but I do use the script and say, let me just give you a quick example of what I'll say. Weekly videos, Sue. And I can drop these in Determined Diamonds or in our chat so that you guys can have them. So the day that they enroll, I send this with the video. It says, welcome, huge congrats on your best decision to create the best health of your life. Your commitment to this process paired with my support and these amazing products will create the results I know that you want. please take a minute to listen to this video. This information is very key to getting the most out of your products. We want to officially welcome you. So then 4 days later, I check, did you get your products? And if they've gotten them, either way, I kind of will send this next one. Or if they haven't, then I'll say, I'm tracking the tracking. Yep.
Which video do you send them?
It is the welcome video here. I thought I gave you this.
You probably did, but there's so many all the time. I don't know.
Okay. This one is called weekly videos.
Weekly videos.
Weekly video. Yep. And they're all videos that Christy Jacks made with one of her levels. And so it is week 1 just welcomes them. And then the second week, when I check in just to see where they're at, I will send them the getting started so they can already in their mind start thinking about that. And, you know, if they haven't gotten their products, we get excited. We talk about how excited they are. I help them remember why they hit join. I help them remember how they're feeling. How excited are you to not have to drink coffee every day? I reinforce their decision. And then the following week after they started the products, there's a week 2. Then there's a week 3. There's a week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I try to stay in really close contact those first 2 months. So that really is my system. And it's really working to develop relationships. They don't feel like I signed them and then left them on their own. And a lot of times they'll even ask me questions before I have my next one, where I'm like, oh yeah, okay, give me a second. I got something for you, and it's really, this month has just been so great getting to know everybody in this way. So another thing that I do, so there's troubleshooting. I'm going to share all that with you guys too. I also got this recently, and it's how to help alter products, how to adjust based on, are they constipated? Do they have loose stools? Just based on what's going on when they start. And then how to troubleshoot. I have all of that written out. So I always will refer to that as well. So pretty simple. That's the system that we use. And it keeps me on track, because every day when I'm not sure, what am I doing? I'm doing my IPA, there's different things, but I see their name and I'm like, week 2, week 3. And on the last week, very important, the last week, the reason that this works so good is because it's set up before their subscription processes. Because I really hate, even though I tell everybody in the beginning that their subscription is going to process, and I explain to them about the perks because I want them to know how important that is. I don't want anybody's subscription processing before I have a chance to let them know. So when that happens, and in the kind of script that I have, I then get to say, all right, everything's going good. Is it time now to maybe add in that ease that you never got last month? We wanted to start small. You got the triplex, but you still have these inflammation issues. You're starting to have some die-off symptoms. This ease is going to do this, da, 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 da. And so then we talk about adding it to the order. Otherwise, everything is the same, and we go from there. And then I also get them excited then about their 3rd month. I'm like, after this subscription rolls this month, you're going to get a free product next month. I also have been sending people a catalog. I got kind of bad at doing this. I have completely flipped that this month. Everybody gets a catalog from me. I went back the last 3 months. Those catalogs are not very expensive, and I get a chance then to send them the catalog. I send this newsletter that you guys can all get your hands on as well. Brianne Coolidge is the one who creates this newsletter. I print it off with that, and then I get a special little card I can write in there, and just, encouraging them and thanking them for allowing me to serve them. And then this month I threw in Joyome samples because we just released our cleanser. That's my customer care. That was something I was not doing in 2020, but I am adamant about doing it in this year. And in fact, I sat down, it was over an hour writing all those catalogs out, and you guys, it felt so good. It just felt so good knowing that I was giving this one more layer of love on them, connection. And when I got to the post office, I just got at the Family Dollar, they had like manila envelopes that fit our catalogs beautifully. They're padded. they cost $1. I think it was 2 for $1, or 2 for $1. And when I shipped, it was 10 or 11 that I had shipped out. It only cost me like $13, which shocked me because they were plump full of stuff. So I didn't think that was very costly to do it. So I really think it's something. And if you can't do it and it's a lot of cost to you, talk to your upline, because I am sending them to some of my downlines that had new people join, but I know they're not really working the business. So I want to introduce myself and into their lives that way. So that's it. Any questions? Emily, I'll send that to you.
Awesome. Thank you. And that was great. Good info. Real quick. Thank you.
Thank you. Emily.
Copious notes. I know you like that word.
I know you do.
Okay.
Emily, I think you should train next week.
Oh, you do?
Yep, I think we should book you right now because I already have a testimony next week. She's a nurse. She started our forfeit group, and I got the most beautiful message from her tonight. And I asked her to jump on tonight, and she had a report to write, but she's going to do next week.
Okay.
So it would be so cool if you want to do it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's move along. So sorry. I forget we only have like 40 minutes. Okay.
Okay. So the next person that we have one of our sideline sisters, Jessie. She's going to give her testimony. One of my favorite things about this call and what we have coming forward is that I know these folks, but I don't really know these folks. Like, what caused you to join Plexus? What's your success? What's the background? So I'm super excited for Jessie to pop on. So I'm going to unmute you, Jessie, and I'm going to make you front and center. And there you go.
All right. Hey guys. So thank you for having me first. But then, okay, so I started with Plexus in February of 2020. So it's like almost been a year now. Before Plexus, I was actually in a car accident in 2018. I had 4 herniated discs in the back of my neck. I was given about 5 trigger point steroid injections and then also 2 epidural injections in my neck. At that time, I did not know that those can cause candida issues in the gut. So after about a year of that, and then also 5 months of PT, I was referred to a surgeon. And I decided not to get the surgery just because of the risks of, going into the back of the neck and things like that. So then obviously I was praying for a solution because not only was my neck hurting, but I had gained weight from the steroids, about 13 pounds or so. And then also I was severely exhausted. And I knew that God was calling me into ministry work. And I was also wanting to homeschool my children. But I didn't have the energy to do so. So just praying. And then I met Beck at a mutual friend's house. And she had a table set up for Plexus. And I had talked to her a little bit, added her on Facebook. And I was super skeptical, because it was an MLM and I did not want to do that. That was not something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to share. I didn't want to do any of that. Didn't want to sell. But her posts kept on hitting home to me and with what I was struggling with and the severe exhaustion. So I didn't come for weight loss or any of those things. It was just that I was tired and I wanted more energy. And I started with the Ease, Active, and Slim. Right away, I noticed my energy levels going up, and I was running around with my kids because of the energy. After about 2 months, oh yes, Beck reminded me, I tried the 3-day trial pack, and thanks for reminding me, Beck. But so I tried the 3-day trial pack and noticed right away, I think it was even within the first day, just trying Active, that gave me that boost of energy. So then I decided that, oh, sorry, I was reading her chat. But I get sidetracked. I'm like a squirrel. But anyways, so then I noticed the energy right away. And I was like, this stuff is like really working. So after about 2 months, I think I'd posted a selfie or something on Facebook, and Beck's like, have you noticed your face? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? She's like, you have lost so much inflammation in your face. And I was like, I didn't notice. And then, because, you know, I see myself every day. We see ourselves every day. But then she had seen my post, and she's like, no, you've lost so much inflammation. So I put the pictures side by side, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have. And I hadn't really lost a whole lot of weight. I had only lost maybe a few pounds or so. But I noticed the energy too. And then I think it was like a few months later, then the pounds just started coming off. So I've lost a total of about 22 pounds in a year, or almost a year. Yeah. So, and I didn't come to Plexus for that. I came, you know, just for the energy. So, and then not only that, but I was feeling better. I was able to, now I can homeschool my kids. I'm in school myself, doing a business. I'm able to do all the things and have the energy to do so and be a good mom and all those things. But, then the other thing is that after about those 2 months, I had noticed, we are so glad. Oh, you guys keep on typing. I got to read them. But anyways, so after about 2 months, and I noticed that I love the products, then I saw that there was a kids line. And my son actually at about, I think he was 18 months old, was diagnosed super early with severe asthma. And I mean, we were in the hospital probably around 50 times. And 2 of those times he was hospitalized for the asthma. He also had 5 food allergies. And so I started my son on the X Factor Kids vitamin, and it was amazing. Like, we went into the allergist, and they were like, hey, let's go ahead and try testing out a food challenge, or testing out of these food allergies. And he kept knocking them all out. I mean, we had 4 last year. We knocked out an egg allergy. We knocked out peanut, corn. There was another one. Oh, pineapple. So 4 of his 5 food allergies have gone away. Praise God. And then also his asthma. We haven't been in the hospital once since being on Plexus. So I definitely believe in these products. I know that I don't know if any of you are on the fence or if all of you, you know, are doing it, but I believe that they work. I believe that they are a gift from God because of how I feel and just noticing it from my kid, my son. And also my daughter hasn't been sick since she's been on them too. So I know they work.
That's amazing. Anybody have any questions for Jessie while she's on?
I do.
Lisa does.
When you finally decided there's something to this, what was the first thing you did to tell people? And how scary was that? It
was so scary. I mean, even still sometimes I get a little nervous. Mm-hmm. And I know another thing is that there was an area of guilt and shame that I felt for sharing. Mm-hmm. And I had to really pray through that and also go to my upline and ask for prayer. Mm-hmm. Because there's some shame and guilt sometimes that can come in the way of wanting to share. Mm-hmm. But really, I mean, I don't share for myself. I don't share to make money. I share because I know they work and I want to help somebody else. So, yeah. I mean, that's my heart behind it.
Yeah, there's some kind of drama, and that's what we like to call it. There's this drama in our head that we create. That's not reality. Mm-hmm. And when you can take you out of the equation completely, it's liberating. And it took me years. I still nobody wants anybody to think your motives aren't pure. And that's, I think, what the hardest obstacle is to get over. But when you know what happened to you, and most of us accidentally do this, because I don't know, when you have changes, how can you not want to help somebody else? So I love your story. I've never heard it before, so I'm really excited that you shared on here.
Yeah. Jessie, what did you do? What was it that actually made you want to share? What was the moment? Because I feel like Lisa, I like Lisa's question.
Well, I'm just saying, you really need a Beck in your life.
Right, Beck, what did you do?
I'm really saying you really need a Beck in your life because.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously though, because I mean, I was so open with Beck, and she knows this. I mean, I was so open and I was in communication with her so much and telling her that I'm like, and there was even one point I was like, God does not want me to share this, because I just felt this heaviness on me from, like the shame of sharing. But it's like, there shouldn't be any shame there, because it's not about me. It's about helping them.
Yeah.
So just getting through that and remembering it's not me, it's for them. It's going to help.
Who did you share with first? Who was your first yes?
Was it Cindy, I think? Yeah, Cindy, my cousin. So.
And how did you go about that?
I think you reached out to me. I think I had just done posting really in the beginning. So.
Okay. It's so much easier, isn't it, when they reach out to you?
And then right away, we put her into a 3-way video message. And
yes, we did. Yep.
So you all got on the phone in a video message and just, let's talk.
Yep.
So good.
We just shared our hearts. That was it.
Yeah. I told Jess, I was like, listen, you just got to share what it's done for you. And we're going to help her to see what it can do for her, because that's all they care about, is really just knowing that it could possibly do something to help them. And I just want to say something in response to like the guilt and shame that Jessie was saying with feeling about sharing, and how she said, it's not about the money. I want anybody who's on this call to know that it's absolutely okay, even if it is about the money. Okay?
Yeah,
exactly. Okay? It's okay if it's about the money, because this is you providing something for your family, paying off debt. For Jessie, she's hoping to cover her school costs so that one day she can further the kingdom of the Lord even further because of what she's studying now and learning. And so I just want you guys to see that just like if you were to go to a restaurant and be a server at a restaurant, okay, be a waitress there, and you tell people, hey, I'm working on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you're telling your friends because, one, you want to get to see your friends and hang out with them for a little bit while you're serving, and two, you know that they might be a little bit more generous and maybe more kind while you're serving them, whatever it might be, or hey, spread the word or whatever. Or if you have your own business that's a restaurant, or in Jessie's case, a t-shirt business, like you're people. I think where the guilt and shame comes in, really honestly, is that in the past, MLMs have been snake oil. They have been things that don't really work. And guess what, guys? They still exist. There are still those companies out there that are all about the money, okay? But we are absolutely different. And you have to realize that with Plexus, it's a completely different story. Why? Because we're a legacy company. And by legacy company, we mean that this is a company that's going to be around forever. So it's not one of those things that it's going to be like, oh, it doesn't really work, so people they'll catch on and it'll just go out of business. Like, that's not going to happen, number one. Number two, we're a legacy company in the way that we are creating a legacy. We're creating a name for ourselves so that our daughters, our sons, our family will be proud of what we've done in helping so many people. I just watched my friend Jenna. She had a balloon. It was a 1 and a K because she just helped her 1,000th person to make a healthy decision today. I think it was today.
Cool.
So this is amazing, because you are changing lives and there's no guilt and shame in that. And if you make money for helping other people, that is okay. You deserve to be rewarded, because let me tell you how long I spent on customer service today to help people. I spent some time, right?
Yep.
And I think that they compensate me for that in some way or form or fashion. I'm getting paid to take care of my customers and my people. So just know that that's okay. And you guys should be proud. It's just like I am super proud. I am a network marketing professional, but more than that, I am proud to be Plexus, like, period. And so for Jessie, that's what I had to help to instill in her, because people come into this business, they don't know that. They're like Jessie. They're unsure. They're like I was. I was like afraid to be that girl. Everybody's afraid to be that girl, quotes, right? but we have to build up in them the belief that we have come to know ourselves. And that's really where it lies. That's it.
Awesome. Beck, thank you.
Thank you,
You
Beck.
guys, I know that we're going to run out of time and it's going to just cut us off. If anybody wants to jump back on and talk about those things, I'm up for it. So do we need your link, Wendy? I know you had a really long day, so you might not want to.
I do not want to.
So, because I think this topic is just so important, and the more that you understand, you're not alone, and that I think it's great. And then maybe we can just pray over, what we're doing and stuff moving forward. Who wants to stay on? Just me. Emily, can you stay on for a bit? Yeah, can't. Okay.
I can. I don't want to. I want to go to bed.
All right, you and I will work together tomorrow.
Yeah, we're on a call tomorrow. We're doing like a power hour tomorrow if anybody wants to.
Oh yeah, we are.
Power hour.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, all right. We have 2 minutes left. I just want to say one more thing before we go. Lisa and I, of course, because, we're like tied at the hip forever. We were talking today about something that I've been struggling really hard to find my word of the year. And I decided after talking to Lisa that my word of the year is grace. And it's because I think that especially with how crazy everything is right now, we all need to extend grace to folks. Our leadership, the people that we do life with in our homes, the people we encounter on Facebook, the people we encounter in the workplace, we always need to remember, we don't know what's going on at their house. We don't know what they've been through today. We don't know what they've been through this year. We don't have a clue. And so maybe somebody comes at you with a crappy attitude, or maybe they disappoint you. Folks, we are not perfect because we're not Jesus, so we're going to let people down. And so I just feel like for me, grace is the word. I want to work at perfecting it and extending it to people even better than I do. I think we all could work on that, and we are so going to run out of time. So that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you again for hopping on, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you,
Rosia. Thank you for jumping on.
That was so awesome.
Great job, Jess.
Yes,
Bye, guys.
Love you guys.